So you might be planning on buying an iPhone 13 in 2023. Now, there are a few things that I would recommend looking out for before buying, especially a used iPhone 13, but any iPhone 13 for the most part. Now, the first thing I would recommend, as always, making sure if it's a used one, it's in good condition, you know what you're getting into. If you can check the serial numbers, make sure there's no payments left on it, making sure it doesn't have a bad IMEI number, making sure it can be activated. Those are some basic things that any person who's buying a used iPhone should probably take a close look at. And if there are monthly payments still being made on it, if there's anything even remotely close to any debt on that phone, you should probably avoid it. That's kind of the big thing. But also, making sure you're getting photos and images or even videos of that iPhone that you're about to buy is a really important thing. Luckily for us, an iPhone 13 isn't a super old iPhone, so it's not like it can have like super bad components inside, or like, if you're buying like an iPhone 5S, some things can go wrong anyways. With the 13, it's a fairly new iPhone, so you're not going to have too many issues, but there are still lots and lots of things that can go wrong, so just do your due diligence. On top of that, the iPhone 13 is still being sold brand new, so there are lots and lots of people who can go and finance an iPhone out. So just make sure that the 13 that you're buying doesn't have any debt, like I mentioned before. That's the easiest, one of the most common ways people kind of get messed up with their iPhones. Now, another thing, make sure that you get the proper storage amount in which you're probably going to use on that iPhone. 128 gigabytes, which is the base model of the iPhone 13 and 13 mini, can fill up quite fast. Personally, for me, I still use a 128 gigabyte iPhone 13 Pro, and I have a pretty good time with it. I never really have to worry about storage. I never run out of storage, but I'm also not using my phone as my main device. I'm using my phone as my main device, but I'm not, storing a bunch of stuff on it. So if you are storing a lot of stuff on your iPhone, you never want to go down in storage. You always want to go up in storage, if anything. And if you're buying a used iPhone 13, make sure you have enough storage, or at least the same storage that you have on your current phone on the next one. If you're able to verify how much storage that phone has, make sure that's the case, make sure it's the exact model you're buying. That can help alleviate some other issues you may end up having in the future as well. On top of that, you may just want to make sure that with the display itself, that there's no burn-in. Sometimes with an iPhone 13, you can get burn-in on that display. Although for a majority of people, like I mentioned, it's a newer iPhone, the chances of burn-in can be slimmer, but just keep in mind that that could be a possible issue as well. And the biggest thing, make sure you're not overspending on a used iPhone 13. Apple is currently selling the iPhone 13 for $699, the 13 mini at $599, so make sure you are not spending more than those numbers for the base model of these iPhones. Now, if you are getting like a 256 or 512 gigabyte iPhone 13 for $699 or $799, whatever, that might be okay. But just make sure you're comparing those prices to the brand new prices, because you do not want to overspend on those products either. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.